good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. This is Ngina's Journal, and my name is Ngina. I welcome you to today's episode. Now, Tuesdays are always beautiful days for me because it's always great to sit and listen to people. It is always good to just have questions that I have answered by other people. So today's episode is gonna be amazing. I'm having a very interesting young lady, and we are talking about a bit of a sensitive topic. We are talking about toxic parents. Now, a parent is supposed to shield you. A parent is supposed to hold you close. A parent is supposed to protect you and assure you that everything is going to be okay. So what happens when your parent becomes you a source of pain? What happens when you want to stay away from your parent because they cause you pain every day instead of making you happy and giving you that support that you deserve? And so today we have a very brave young lady that is going to share her story. I know it is a big step for her to do this, and I am grateful she is here. She is the beautiful Mary Waitherero. I love the second name. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. It's good. This is going to be an eye-opener to someone. This is going to encourage someone. And this is going to make a lot of people understand where they are right now. So please introduce yourself as we begin.
Oh, hi, viewer. I'm also a viewer of Ngina's Journal. My name is Mary Waitherero Kamau. I work at Kenge Live. I'm a media personality. I'm always behind the cameras. I'm shy. But today I'll be here, so let's do this.
Thank you so much. She is a shy, beautiful girl. And Mary, thank you so much. Now, I would just want to know a bit about you, not even about your family, but you, the person that you are at this point. Who is Mary?
So Mary is, I'm a Christian to start with,
okay.
and I'm very passionate about what I do. I love art in general, and I'm a girl who was very bright in school, and I think I love babies.
Oh, you love babies.
I love babies.
Nice.
And what else do I love? I love nice food. That's me. And I love media because it's what has brought me this far. And I love interacting with people, listening to stories. So I find it nice that you have taken this initiative to also enlighten us more about real life stories.
Thank you so much. Now, Mary, I know this story is very personal, especially to you. It's something that it must have taken a lot of thinking to just decide, I want to share this and speak to someone out there. Now, you can probably start by telling us your family setup. Maybe your family members, brothers, sisters?
Oh, so I come from a family that has both parents. I'm privileged. Okay. That is what people take for granted, but for me, I really appreciate that I have both parents, a mom and a dad, biological. I also have a brother and also other brothers on board, those that we've been brought up together with. Yeah, so I'm just the only girl in the house.
Oh, you're the only girl. Yeah. Amazing. You got all the attention. Daddy's attention, brother's attention.
Yeah.
You know, I know. It's amazing. Now, how do parents become toxic? At what time do you look at it and you're like, this is toxic?
Okay, that's a good question. And I think in our Kenyan setup, I think we had this discussion earlier some time back. And I think most of the Kenya, not all, but some have really put their parental figure out instead of first being a friend to your kid. Because as we are growing up, we know that I look up to my dad, I look up to my mom. Who is your role model? You're like, Mom, who's your role model, Dad? Because you see your dad struggle to give you a good life. Some people are born with a silver spoon. So they see, they always want to be like their parents. But at the end of the day, as you try to put out your parental duties or your parental responsibilities, you forget that you need to be a friend to your kid. And with time, you actually become so overprotective that you become toxic. And that is when you find the child tries to be violent or resistant, let me use the word resistant. You resist, you start saying that the child has changed, maybe it's friends, maybe there are some parents who actually tell you you're using drugs, but it's because the parent has not set some, like, I don't know, some time to understand that kid and no, my kid wants correction in this way, because some kids are even used to beat me. So what, I'll just feel the pain for some time and I'm still going back to my old habits. So I find some parents really forget or neglect that apart from being a parent, you need to be the first person who understands your kid.
Your kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. Actually, I was looking at traits of a toxic parent, and I realized a parent who does not even allow you have a say on something.
True.
That is very toxic.
Yeah.
A parent who is self-centered, it's about me, you do what I want you to do, you must follow this one. It is, and it's so funny, you know, when I was listening, I was preparing for this, I realized that some of us in our African setting, we have had toxic parents and we never knew because we thought it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was remembering of a story of a parent in our place who used to hang her kids. Punishment was hanging. UP is when she's going to cut the rope. I'm telling you. And nobody did anything about it. It's your kids. You can discipline them the way you want to. And those are the things that we are calling toxic traits in parents. Now, I know you have mom and dad.
Yeah.
Who amongst your parents was toxic or is?
Okay, I'd say growing up, I really didn't get the chance to interact with my mom because I guess she got us while she was still young. At the age of 18, she had her first kid. So, and she had not actually gotten to her aim educationally. She also wanted to go further and further her education. So I think I didn't really, and she was busy. You know, you're trying, these are young parents, they've not made it. For us, we started from like
the scratch.
My dad would go to mjengos. He would actually even cook mandazis and do so many, you know, this vibarua, jua kali vibaruas. And I think for them, they thought they are giving us the best. Now that maybe they didn't manage to get that, the luxury and everything from their childhood. So I never kind of blame them, but my dad was always there. But okay, I'll refer to my mom as toxic, and I quote that because she'll watch. But I'd say at some point, being a mother and having a daughter, she actually forgot about we need to be friends now that I'm a girl, and you want to raise me as a girl, because in the society a girl is deemed as very delicate. But you forget, in as much as you want to be harsh, because my dad is not harsh, but he's stern. You can't do this. Actually, in our home, if you wrong my father, you will feel that pain. Actually, we sit with my brother and he's like, "Aki mimi nikikosea dad." We actually write apology letters before he gets home. But you know, for my mom, atakuja apige kelele, you know. And I think it's because also she's a teacher. You know, she's a high school teacher. So I really used to find my mom so toxic, because in as much as I wouldn't even introduce my male friends, there's nothing happening, there's nothing that's wrong, but you fear, nakianza kufikiria like we have something with someone, how will, you know, the fear
at what age, you know, I'm a parent and I'm like, well, at what age did you feel like at this point I can bring a male friend at home and it should be okay? Actually,
at the age of when I think at my age is when I see I should now bring a man, because I really used to feel, you know, there are actually these friends that those friends that you would want to come to your home to borrow a book, but atakuwa like, mnadhani hizi zile vitu tulikuwa tunafanya tukiwa wadogo. We know. So you don't have any of those intentions with you because you're young. And actually, for me, I had set my standard that I'll start dating once I'm like maybe in college, almost the last year of college. Actually, that I had even told my dad, because we're so open with my dad. I don't hide anything from him. So I think I'd set let me first accomplish this and this. And then before I get a boyfriend, at least I'm somewhere. You know? So I think with that, you can't go anywhere. My mom was like, "Mom, nataka kwenda birthday." And no, ni keki amna. You know, my mom, you see, I actually watched some funny clip the other day, yesterday actually. This guy, his name is Ojo, says that he wants to go to a birthday party and actually he's old. And the mom says, there's a cake in the fridge. Bring it. Let's cut it, record it for the, who's the birthday girl? Joy. We're going to record it for her and you'll tell her you've cut the cake from your home. So, at that point, you just want to be a kid. I want to go to other people's birthday parties.
You were not allowed to.
We were not. Actually, from when I was young, we only lived in an apartment where you could interact with other kids for like 3 years. All this other time, we used to find a house that is, you know, a standalone house. So getting even to have friends, actually, I think that really affected me because I didn't get to make, so I actually don't have so many friends. You see, so interaction became so difficult because your mom is strict. You can't go to usiende kwa kina nani, you shouldn't eat from other people's places, you shouldn't do, you know. So I find that my mom from her side, she was toxic at some point because I fear you rather than loving you. You know, there's that respect. I'm not supposed to fear you, I'm supposed to respect you. So from that, we had a disconnect. And I feel with the few people I've interacted with, we've shared and we're like, I mean, our parents were toxic at some point.
By the way, you listen to some of these things, and you just realize some people have just gone through it thinking it's okay. I've met people who think their parents literally hate them. Yeah, because and some of the parents are genuinely just trying to, they overdo it though, but they're trying to make sure you're okay, that you do not get into bad company and all that. Now, from what you've told us, it seems that from the very point that you are not supposed to go to the birthdays, you said you disconnected with your mother. Please tell us whether that relationship changed, or was there at some point where you went and said, Mom, I feel like this, I want this, I want you to be my mom. Did you ever sit down with her, or did she ever reach out?
Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm very close to my dad. So at some point, there's some things that she did, and I was like, well, I actually questioned my dad at some point and asked him, na mama nakuanga mama yangu kweli?
Oh no.
So at some point, I remember we used to live in Kiambu, Kirigiti. You actually use that route, Kirigiti route, and I was asleep. And actually, the following day was on Monday. I actually cleared Form 4. So I used to iron my clothes now that I was, I had gotten a job at the law courts. Some lawyer. I was actually a secretary for some lawyer. So I used to iron my clothes, the clothes that I'm going to use for the whole week. So I told her, lend me your iron box. I iron after you're done. Because actually, for us, it's a routine. Iron your clothes for the whole week. So I did that. I went and slept as she finished. When I was sleeping, she literally came and placed that hot iron on my bed, and actually it burned me. Up to date, I still have that scar, but it's actually slowly going away. But I was like, really? You saw me, I was sleeping on that same bed and decided to place a hot iron box on the same bed that I was in. And then she was like, you know, and I'm like, really? Well, what if it was I doing the same thing to you? So I remember one day we were taking supper and I was really mad, extra mad. And I shouted, actually we had some, it was actually, I didn't know, she started making noise. And then I actually asked her, now by the way, am I your kid? You know, you're really frustrated, you have, actually I was bad and she did nothing. She didn't even look like frightened. And na nakuanga mtoto wa hii nyumba kweli, you know, you have that outburst.
And it just came out.
And it just came out. And she was like, unaongelesha nani? And then my dad was like, no, let's talk this out. Maybe this kid is suffering. Can we listen to what she has to say? And I was like, look at this car. And my dad was like, what?
Oh, your dad didn't even know.
Yeah, he was not there. He was not at home. What happened? And I'm like, she came and placed her. Actually, that is what woke me, because the iron was stuck on my leg. And I'm like, my dad was like, why do you feel like you're not the kid of this? You're not our kid. And I'm like, you know, things that happen to me, I'm the one who's always deemed as the one in the wrong. I do something and it's actually made it's a big case. It becomes a very big case. Yet it's something small. My brothers, I don't see my brother being charged for whatever they do.
Yeah.
And I was really mad. And actually said I actually told them I don't want to live there. I told them I want to go live up country with my grandmother. And she was like, oh, this is a spoiled kid. For me, every time I try to bring out what I feel, it's all about how she puts me out is, you're just spoiled. Your father spoiled you.
Oh.
You are your father's apple or your father's egg, you see? So it comes to a time I really, in as much as you want to discipline me and tell me how to approach things in the right way, I actually used to feel bad because the only way to put me out or to not to shun me from speaking out was to tell me, you just spoiled, your father spoiled you. But you know, in real sense, I have lived with this man like all my life. I'm the one who took care of my younger brother while she was away studying.
Oh, okay.
It's me who's, most of the things, it's me who has had to ask my father, how do I go about this? And
So
you
you've
see,
created a bond between you and dad.
yeah, actually, I have created, I don't know. I can't, in a day, my phone call log is filled with daddy. I just wanted to say
Did you
hi.
ever feel like your mom was feeling like you were being given attention that should be us? I've dealt with cases like that, where a mother feels like he loves his daughter more than he loves me. For attention, maybe just you felt like you're getting more attention?
As I don't think that could be the case because everyone is treated equally. When it comes to my dad, you can't come to a house and say, and actually, you know how you go to a setup and notice this kid is spoiled? Because all of us got the same treatment. If it was outings, we could go. Actually, I can't recall of a Sunday that my dad missed. Maybe unless he was away. Every Sunday was an outing day. And I remember there was a time he became really harsh on me because I was actually a joker in primary school. I didn't like mathematics. I had that mentality of mathematics is made for boys. So he would leave me at home and tell me, I have brought you a tutor. I want you to pass. Mathematics is something that you can do. It's not. So you see, I can't say I was really spoiled because when it gets to a point that your parent cares about your education and leaves you at home, goes with your brother and your aunties for outing and your mom, you know, I couldn't say I'm a spoiled kid. And up to where I am, I really did it for my dad, to be honest. I really did it because I saw him from I was young. And actually we have these photos, we've documented them. I really saw him grow to somebody who has got everything he has from hard work. So that is why I started working hard. And I remember promising my tutor, he was Mr. Kenya, and I promised him, if I'm going to pass mathematics, there's no single day, because I was in class 6, I told him there's no single day I'll fail in mathematics. And since then, trust you me, unless I get a 98%, I used to get 100. Why? I did it for my dad, because he had punished me. You know, at first you like think, hey, my dad is being unfair. Why does he have to leave me every Sunday? People are going for outings and you're being left. I actually at some point I started now hating him because I actually
he's pushing too hard.
Yeah, you're pushing me too hard. You know? Yeah, but I wouldn't say I was a spoiled kid. Everyone gets the same treatment in our house. And he actually says it. He says it. He says hakuna mwenye ni special, nyinyi wote ni wangu. Tukae na upendo. Yeah.
So how did this make you feel like as a young girl? Because I believe a young girl learns a lot. I would say that 50% of who I am today as a woman, I have learned from mom. Just watching her gently deal with things, I have literally learned from her. So how did you feel like a young girl? Who did you learn from?
Okay, at first, it wasn't a big deal back in primary school. You know, that is where she was out of the picture for some time because she used to go and study back in my university. So it wasn't a big deal because daddy's there. Daddy actually, my classmates would know my dad, amekuja. I wouldn't even use the bus. Dad, drops me, picks with together with my brother. So I wouldn't, okay, at that point I wouldn't say it really affected me, but when I got to high school, Form 2, and I think really this really affected my grades. Form 1 I was okay, because I actually being admitted to Form 1, it's my dad alone who took me to school.
Your mom was available or not?
She was there, but she said she has classes. So I was like, you can't excuse yourself for one day. And then I'm like, okay. So you're going with your dad. You have to name every piece of cloth when he's there. So actually I had gotten to a point that I'm okay. You just take me.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So we went and it was actually fun. For me in high school, it affected me because I remember my mom just attended like 1 or 2 meetings that I can tell you she attended. So it will affect you because it's visitings. People are having their families. It's a full family setup. People are seated. But for you, you just have your dad. But you know, at that point, it doesn't affect you so much because, at least there's someone who came.
At least dad came.
Dad came. There's something to eat. And I remember one day, my dad came with one mango and 4 chapatis. And I was like, okay, now this is how mama kupika, you know, and it really hurts you because people have mothers or even grandmothers who come wamepika, you know, at that point you miss, but your father has just akona hiyo maembe na chapo and you're wondering sasa tutakula hii niende chai, you know.
There was no.
And then my dad was like, don't worry, things will change with time. Maybe she'll come. And my dad has been very, very assuring at this moment. But I used to tell him,
And she was always like not showing you mom is not doing right. She always shielded her.
She was never sorry. I can say that once I become a mother, at what point I'll become a mother, I think I'll try to make it right for my kids, that when I'm wrong, I can tell them, anyway, I overreacted.
Yeah.
Can we talk this out? Because I feel I didn't get a sorry from my mom. You know, my dad will make something or overreact on something and tell you, lakini si tumesuluhisha hapo. Hata kama nilikuja vibaya, next time nita approach vizuri. And I feel being told that sorry, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you anything, but it makes you at peace that this person values you and this person cares more about how you feel rather than how they see themselves as a major person in your life. So I think for my mom, after like I actually mentioned it when I was going to campus, and I was like, because still being admitted to campus, she didn't come. And you know, you've made it, you're happy, you're going to a good campus, you've passed, and mama is not still there. So actually we were me and my uncle.
And dad?
And yeah, me, my uncle and dad.
Okay.
So I'm like, mama is still not here. For one, she was still not here. I'm like, okay, you know, I need to settle. You're the one who's supposed to tell me now. You're in campus. This is new life.
Did she ever have those talks with you about our girl should?
I think she used to do it because my dad is doing it.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe she wants to. There's sometimes, okay, I'm not saying she was bad as per se, but at some point, I really needed that talk. You know, let's take a walk.
Mom, daughter,
let's talk. Tell me the reality.
Yeah.
But you know, for her, I remember, let me share this instance. I remember back in Form 2, we moved. Because, you know, her being a teacher, we used to move a lot. Actually, and that is why I never made friends, I think. So we used to move a lot. And at that point, we were in Githongori, in Kiambu. So they went and settled to a church that we used to go. And she was really interested in music because she's in the choir. So the choir master had a son. And told that son, sutakuwa unakuja kwetu and teach me how to play the piano. And I was like, so when I came back, I find that guy now. The guy comes and knocks. And I'm like, uko ni kwa tisha so and so. And I'm like, yeah, you're not lost, it's here. But come. And I actually called my mom and inform her, there's this guy. But with time, you're the one who's told me I can be friends, he can teach me. But with time, you're like, huyo utapata mimba. And he actually is coming to our house. You know, he's coming to our house in your presence. So it became an enmity even with the two families. That this guy is going to make my girl pregnant. And there's nothing we are doing. I was so naive at that point that I thought, nimekukaribisha, the guy will sit from that far end, I sit on this end, nimwambie ngojea mama yangu. You know?
You could not even do the practices without
yes, ngojea mama. Wow. You know, because
so
I'm
when are you
scared.
getting pregnant now?
So I'm wondering, is this pregnancy through osmosis? You know, you even wonder,
Yeah,
oh God,
yeah.
do people get... So that really made me scared of men at that point. Atunge.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there was also an instant where guys used to come, hey, there's a new girl in town, There's a new girl. So they will really come and knock and then run away. You know, we are still young.
Yeah.
So they come, knock, run away. Then my mom will get out of that gate and start hurling insults. Niwaone huku, you know, So I'm like, you're just being over it. Ati hawa wavulana ni wewe umetuma. And I was just in the house the whole time I've been in the house. And now it gets to a point it's me who sent those guys. And I don't even know them. So that really made me shy away from making friends because I was afraid, what if you judge? Because there's no friend I've made without my mom judging. Oh God. Mara hapana huyu ametoboa sijui. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really tough. But I really feel that if she did her approach of parenting in a different manner, I'm not saying that kids should not be disciplined or kids should not be told that they're wrong, but tell me with love. Don't scorn me a thief. I'm a thief or I'm a, I don't know, I'm a murderer.
She used to beat you.
Wow.
So it was not just the words. It was...
Oh, no, verbally.
Tell us of instances, one or two that
remember,
that you felt they went overboard.
I remember there's a time when I think my brother was just a month old, and she came and placed her 200 shillings on the table. Then, after she noticed that my brother is really trying to eat it was a carrot, she placed it somewhere higher, where my brother could not reach. And I'm there watching cartoon, I'm seated on the table, I'm seated on the seat, sorry. Then she comes back and says, 200 yangu iko wapi? Mary, I'm talking to you. And I'm like, mimi sijaona. I actually used to kneel down and surrender. And I'm still like a small kid. And then I'm like, mimi sijui kwenye, honestly, umeiba? Umeenda nayo wapi? And then I remember there's a time my dad had given me 20 shillings. So at that point, I used to enjoy watching cartoon while eating popcorn. So I'd gone and bought a pack of popcorns. So she's like, hiyo ndio umenunua pesa, hiyo ndio umenunua popcorns nayo. Umekuwa sasa mwizi wewe, mwizi sugu. I will hang you. You know, I'm like, I didn't steal your cash. Then she beats me thoroughly until the cooking breaks. I remember one day I had to have to go to the hospital and get a bandage because I was kupigwa kama mwizi. And then later on, when my arm is broken and I'm telling her my arm is broken, when she goes to check, she finds a 200 note there. And I'm like, Sindoyo. So I become so mad. So my hand is broken. You know, my
literally?
Arm, yes. I couldn't use my arm for like 3 months. I couldn't use my hand.
Oh my.
And she was like, unajifanya, you're just spoiled, umeharibiwa na baba yako. You know, that is how you
go
now.
back there.
We go back there. So I remember my dad coming home and I was really actually fainted. I really cried and fainted because I was like, umenichapia your 200 shillings that you really put it somewhere else. And I felt that was so unfair. You know? Yeah, such instances. Yeah, and so are many other instances. Present one is one that really, I think, sent me to depression. And you know, depression doesn't get to you and you're like, wow, your depression, welcome. No, it's something that really develops slowly without you noticing it. And at one point you really now realize, wow, there's something that is not okay with me. So I'd say growing up, I really wanted a relationship where we could go for shopping with your mother and you feel like, you know, funny enough, let me tell you this, my mother, when I was young, will shop my clothes and they will come, when she comes home, they wouldn't fit me.
Because
she doesn't even know my size. But my dad will come with a pair of trousers or even a dress, and it fits me. You know, mpaka anasema, I don't even know my kid. So with time, when you're in high school, you listen to other people saying, my mom during the holiday, my mom got me this. Yes, she will get you. I can't say she was selfish, because she really tried to give us good things. But at times, material things are not what makes you happy. Sometimes it's that emotional connection with your parents. You know how I feel knowing that I can talk to someone about this and we've solved it. I can talk to someone about my menstrual period, my mother. Actually, that's a topic we never had with her, sadly. And I salute all fathers, because I know of even my friends who talk such topics with their daughters. I know friends who are fathers, who are dads, and they really take that initiative to talk, because I really find it's not a one-sided role. Actually, those are topics that also fathers should come in. And I really appreciate my dad for the fact that he's brought me such topics, sensitive topics, and he still takes his time. You know, some fathers will shy away, but my dad used to take his time, elaborate further, tell you this is and this are the do's and don'ts, you know. So I really appreciate him. So there isn't confrontation that we had. I remember it was on a weekend, and they actually had lost some in-law from their side. And since we are at work, I actually didn't manage to go. And calling my dad, he told me my dad has a condition. So I called him and asked him, are you still going? And he was like, no, I feel I'm a bit fatigued. Let me just go home. You'll get me at home. I went home, and getting to my bedroom, everything was disorganized. There was stains on my dresses, what do you call them? Lotion stains. I think someone had smeared lotion on my clothes. And you know, you have to arrange, as a girl, you have to arrange your room in a way that you can easily access whatever you want to wear the next day. So I decided to do my cleaning, did my laundry, and when they got home, I had done every chore in the house. And I don't know where, actually I wasn't saying it in a bad way, so I questioned and said, who goes to my room when I'm not there? Because it's not the first time. There was a time I had an iPhone and placed it under, actually it was on my bed, went to work because I didn't want to use that iPhone. At that time, we had actually been stopped where we were working. We were in Media Max. So I decided to find a hustle that I can do to have to actually get some money. So we were selling porridge, this porridge that is made of
the thick one,
the thick So me and some girl from our church decided to be making our porridge and sell, and actually it was a very good business, because I used to actually go with even 1,000 bob at home per day. So I get home and I'm asking, where is my iPhone? Who took my iPhone? Because now I wanted to set it. So I'm like, who took my iPhone? And everybody's mom. Oh, okay, like their mom, they've shut, nobody's talking. And then I'm like, Mom, who took my phone? And then she's like, are you even sure you had an iPhone? And I'm like, yes, because that is what I had, and I had bought it myself. And I really got mad, and my dad was like, you don't worry, the one who stole it, one day, atashikwa tu. You know where that is wale. Those people, sijali, hapendi mambo mingi. So I let go. I let go of it. So I will find instances where I go, I'm from work, I find my room is so disorganized. This is not the way I left my room, because for me, I'm a perfectionist. I want kama dresses here.
Side tops.
Mimi tutakosana na mtu akuja invade my So I'm like, so that day I really felt mad, because I had done my laundry. I just had some small and I'm like, nani ametuanisha juu? Who goes to my room? Furthermore, there's no money that I even put there. You know, I'm saying it on a light note because I'm laughing, and my dad is like, I had questioned him before. So he told me, when everyone is at home, ask that question. So I decided to do what my dad had told me. So nikauliza, who goes to my room? I want to know. What? Whatever followed me, I regret ever asking that question. I was like, hey, msichana ametukosea heshima sana. Unajua mawe ni pesa ngapi? You don't even belong here. She started now hurling insults that up to date, I'm like, what? utoke huko utoke huko Malaya ukuje. And then unataka kusema wende kusema huko. And then she actually poured hot water on me because at our home we don't take tea with milk because my dad, because of his condition, we really abstained from taking foods that he was told not to take. So he really poured and it got to my knee. Now this is the second burn on the same leg. So I'm like, wow, I panicked and my dad had to stand up and tell her, what are you doing? She just asked a question about who was in her room and why is lotion smeared, because I actually showed one of the dresses that was smeared on lotion. And she really becomes so mad, starts hurling insults, telling me to get out, going to my room, throwing things from the balcony. Actually, so many things that, because I had moved now back to home after being
after losing your job.
Yeah, losing our job. So we actually, most of my friends actually decided let's move back home until we have jobs that are really able to sustain us now to go and rent another house. So I remember she even broke my glasses. I actually had bought so many things for my house because I've lived before independently. Yeah. So she would break, swearing that I'm not supposed to be there. She doesn't want to see me there. She telling me that I should not consider her my mom. I should never even call her. Out of you
just asking who did that.
Yeah. Sure. And then I'm like, how did this escalate to this point? Because I was just asking to know who goes, why are you, okay, even if you're going to find something in my room, why do you have to smear lotion on my dresses? Why do you have to remove, what are you trying to look for? Because I think it was out of her insecurities. Maybe I don't know what she really expected to find in my room. But once I'm asking this question, you become a totally different person. You start hurling insults. You start, to the point that your mother will call you a prostitute becomes so hard. Because you're wondering, I'm trying to earn a living. I'm trying to restructure my life back.
Even selling emoji.
Yeah, I used to wake up at 4. So I'm like, don't you see I'm making enough effort to please you? Don't you see like I'm trying to be that girl you want? Because it's not once she's tried to compare me with a certain girl. You need to be like, Gio, Swani, the daughter to a pastor. And I'm like, no, we are different. There's actually a time I stood her up and told her, don't ever compare me. I'm your kid. You need to start acknowledging me. I'm your kid. I'm not like the other kid. You don't know what they tell each other with her parent. Be my friend first. I actually demanded it. Be my friend first. Don't compare me, because it really used to hurt me. Why are you comparing me? I am trying my very best. And funny enough, the Sony she used to compare me with, I ended up passing, doing so many great things than her. You see? So you find yourself working extra hard just because you want to prove to your parent that I'm that good kid you should see in me. Yeah. I'm not bad. I'm not spoiled like you think I am. So she kicked me out, and I remember my dad telling me, wake her to until it's 5, then find an Uber, carry your things, because there are things that I bought with my own money. So she told me, beba kila kitu yenye ni chako and go. So I remember calling, actually my friend had a car. So I told him, fanyaje, you come, I'll pay, I'll fuel. I don't know, I'll just do anything, because he noticed I was in despair. I don't have friends yet in the neighborhood. I can tell them to house me for some time. So I told him, when kuja unisaidie, me I've been kicked out. You can't even hide this thing. Unaenda wapi? 5. So I told him, you just come, help me, tuende to anywhere. Even if I need to get a house, let's just go. I was not scared. Actually, I even decided I'll go to the streets and start a life from there, because I don't have a job at that point. I don't know where I'm going to get finances, and the job that I'm in, I'm not even like 2 weeks old, So I packed my things. I remember that night I didn't sleep. My younger brother, I love that boy. He really helped me. He really stood up to me. When my mom wanted to hit me, he'll tell him, apana, utagonga sister yangu. You know you're too much. Act. My mom is those women who are good in church, holy. But when it comes to this family setup, she becomes a totally different person at times. So my brother will tell her, autamgonga, si umesema atoke, atatoka. So at 5, I'm a girl. I don't know where I'm going, but I've carried my things. And my brother is helping me carry because she had to be locked up in her room by my dad. So I remember telling my dad, usimfungulie kwanza because I'm scared.
Your mom had to be locked.
Yeah.
So that
and actually my dad hid his keys. So he told me, ikifika 5 umeshatoka, utaniambia nimfungulie, because she was not, she didn't even for a minute stop talking. Hurling insults. By the way, she was hurling insults until my younger brother, who is in Form 4 right now, was like, "What? Wewe unaendanga kanisa?" You know, imefika point yenye mtoto wako mdogo is asking, unaendanga kanisa na unatoa matusi, because she really hurled insults that I myself cannot even talk or I didn't speak them out. So I remember walking 5. I didn't sleep a whole night. I'm packing whatever is mine, because she told me to leave whatever is hers and tell me to never return home. So up to date, as we speak, I have only gone at home when she's not there.
Oh my, sorry.
Yeah. So you're told to go out, there's nowhere. And you know, it's really hard. People can take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where to go.
Yeah, because you're desperate. You're alone.
Yeah, you're alone. You don't know who to talk to. You don't want to make her look bad in the family. You know, you just can't go. I like started now debating. Should I call my uncle? Should I call my grandma? Who am I going to call? You know, you become so emotionally disturbed. Like, nafa kupigia nani? Who is the right person? My dad is like, you go, find a house, I'll help you. But you know, this is my home. This is where I need to find my protection comes from here. And I can't go. Friends, okay.
Sorry. Wow. That is Mary giving a story. It is one thing to have been living with a auntie and she tells you to leave. It's a whole different thing when your mom tells you leave. You don't have a place to go. Your mom is the one that you run to when things are not working, when things get difficult. The story of Mary. A lot of people are going through these things. There are girls out there who cannot reach their mom. There are girls, I've heard cases of girls who have been raped by their dads. It's toxic out there. Who do you turn to? And sometimes parents are preferring their pain, their frustration to their kids. And it is all wrong. It is all wrong. Now, Mary, as we wind this up, I would want you to look at that camera and tell your mom something. You said your mom is going to watch. I want you today to open up and speak to your mom like she was seated there.
Okay, one thing I've learned from my dad is about forgiveness. And I've really had to take time to learn what forgiveness is. You know, some people imagine that forgiveness is, I tell you, Ngina, sorry, and I've forgiven you. And some people tell you, I've forgiven you, but I'll never forget it. But for me, from my dad, I've learned to forgive and let things go. So we had a recent talk with my dad, and actually that made sense. I need to be free from the pain that I feel.
Yeah.
I need to be free from trying to always make things right. So for me, I forgave her. And actually, I've always told my dad, I forgave her. And actually, I'm making an initiative to go meet her and tell her that you need to see me as a kid. You need to see me as your only daughter. You need to see me as a friend. Because that is the only thing I think I'd want her to give me. I'm not there to ask for maybe luxurious lives. A luxurious life. I'm just there to have a friend who I can share things with. Because right now, I believe I'm at a point where I'm progressing in life. I'm becoming a woman. There's a time there will be a time that I'll need to get married. Who am I going to go first to? Or who am I going to approach and tell them, I think I found the right man, you know? So I need to have a friend. I need to make things right. And I hope she's ready to make things right too. Yeah. But for me, I've forgiven her. Yeah.
Wow. Such is life. Sometimes things get tough. And this young lady is very strong. You're a very strong girl. And amazingly, she has a very beautiful heart. You can never tell. The first time I sat down with her and she told me, I was like, she actually looks like someone who has had it all. And wow. I hope someone watching there is being encouraged by this story. And I hope if you're going through something like this, you have known there are people going through it. You can overcome it. You can get on the other side. But I would want to encourage you to talk to someone. It is always good to meet someone, a therapist, a counselor. Sit down with someone, because it's only that we didn't have time. I know it affects your relationships.
Yeah, true.
I know it affects how you live with people, because this is something, especially if you've gone through since you were a young person, something is created in you, and if you're not careful, if you don't deal with it, it becomes very difficult for you. So thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And those of you who've not subscribed yet, please do. And like our videos and tap that bell. Yeah, that one. That one gives you notification every time we upload a new video. I am grateful that you're part of this journey. Now, my intention is to bring awareness to someone out there, to let you know that people have been where you are and they did it, they made it. So we keep fighting, we keep going on. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jared Photography, who is my producer. I appreciate your work and thank you so much. So I'll see you next Tuesday, time like this. God bless you. Take care. This is Ngina's Journal. My name is Ngina, and here we impart generations. See you.